Hello, YouTube. Something interesting happened in Korea in the 17th century pertaining to paranormal phenomena. You see, there were a number of UFOs sighted in Korea in the year 1609. And I believe the span of the time that the residents of the peninsula observed them was about 6 hours. How do we know? Throughout the Joseon dynasty, 1392 to 1897 in Korea, there was a department in the kingdom devoted exclusively to recording everything that happened in the kingdom, weather, wars, battles, diplomatic contacts, orders of the king, what the kings ate every day, and so forth. And this was recorded in special books, let's call them that. This collection is called Annals of the Joseon Dynasty, and it's known as the longest continuous documentation of one dynasty in the world. Annals of the Joseon Dynasty, or veritable records of the Joseon Dynasty. And I need to apologize to my Korean audience if I mispronounce the words. It's not easy for the Russian speaking person with Ukrainian accent, basically, to do the pronunciation. But I'll do my best. So Joseon Wang Yosilok, record of the activities of the Joseon kings by month and year from the first king Taizhou to the 25th king Cheoljong. Over a total of 1,700 bundles. The recorded historical facts include pronouncements and governing actions taken by the kings during their rule in chronological order. The annals surpass all other dynastic records in the world in their sheer amount of historical details collected over the course of 472 years. These records have been acknowledged as Korea National Treasure number 151 and also as Memory of the World by the UNESCO. The Joseon Wangyo Silok also goes by the name of Yijo Silok. Again, veritable records of the Yi dynasty, and sometimes is just referred to by its abbreviation, Silok. Most of the Joseon Wangyo Silok was printed on paper with wooden movable type. UFO sightings were recorded in the annals of the Joseon dynasty, and that's 400 years ago. I read once that there is 600 of records pertaining to the same in the North Korean hands, but those are inaccessible until one day Korea becomes one again. The key words here are veritable and historical details. The records must be written as accurately as possible, and the people responsible for the recording were extremely careful and scrupulous, because if something written later turns out to be false, it will cost them their lives. And a number of responsible persons were severely punished and even executed for incorrectly recording historical events. Again, these records are recognized as the most valuable legacy of Korean history. So the UFO incident in the first year of King Kwanghae-gun in 1609, on September 22nd or August 25th, according to the lunar calendar, in the year of 1609, which was the first year of King Kwanghae-gun's reign, numerous anomalous aerial phenomena were observed throughout the day by people throughout the kingdom. So we'll go through some available examples. In Koson-gun, Gangwon province, the sun was shining brightly in the blue sky, and in all directions there was not a single cloud. Strange aerial phenomenon. The clear blue sky began to make loud noises similar to thunder from the north. Then they moved south. People with trembling and fear began to go out, began to look into the sky. Then something like smoke gradually fell from the sky from two places. It was possible to observe the shape of the halo of sunlight, which constantly moved and then abruptly stopped after a long time. During this event, thunder was constantly heard, similar to the sound of drums. Now, the time is 9 to 11 a.m. Wongjumok, Gangwon Province. A red luminous object in the shape of a long canvas flew from south to north. There was a loud roar in the sky, which then stopped. Also, same time, 9 to 11 a.m. in Kanes, Gangwon Province. Weather description: the sun was bright and clear. Strange aerial phenomenon: a physical object suddenly appeared in the sky and began to make quiet sounds. In shape, it resembled a large pumpkin, pointed at the top and large at the bottom. In the air, it was heading north. Its movements were as if it was about to fall to the ground. As it descended to the ground, its shape gradually increased to 3 to 4 zhang. It's like 30 to 40 feet or 9 to 12 meters. And the color became very bright and red. On its trajectory appeared a white aura, which for a long time scattered in the air. After the object disappeared, thunder broke out, and the sound shook the sky and the earth. Time, 9 to 11 a.m. in the Chungcheong, Gangwon Province. Weather description. The weather was clear and blue color, I guess, except for a short cloud in the southeast sky. Strange aerial phenomenon. At noon in the sky, there was a fiery light. It had the shape of a large ball formed in the southeast and rushed to the north. It was very large and moved like an arrow, but after a while the fiery object gradually dissipated. White and blue smoke appeared and expanded, which began to fly along the curve and did not dissipate for a long time. The sounds of thunder and drums shook the sky and earth and then stopped. Time from 11 a.m. to 1 p.m. Gangwon Province. Official Moon B. Kim saw a shiny round object resembling a wash basin floating in the air in the middle of the garden of his house. Its movement at first was as if it was about to fall to the ground, but it soon climbed about 1 zhang, 10 feet or 3 meters, as if there was a little chi energy in the air. The object was about the size of a hat and about half the length of the skin, 3 feet or 1 meter, while on the east side glowing blue in the center and red on the west side. When Kim looked at it, it began to turn into a rainbow resembling a folded flag. Then it began to rise up and halfway in the air turn red on all sides. The upper part of the head was pointed and the lower roots were cut off. Immediately it moved a little to the north and turned into white clouds, transparent and beautiful in appearance. Then it very quickly soared into the sky as if drawn to it and crashed into the sky, as if spitting out energy. Suddenly it split in the middle into two parts. One flew to the southeast and disappeared like smoke, and the other remained hovering in place, but in the shape of a square pillow. After a while, a few thunderous sounds were heard, and then a sound similar to rolling stones and drumming, and after a while, everything stopped. Time from 1 p.m. to 3 p.m. in Songcheon, Pyongan Province. Weather description: the day was clear and open without a single point of cloudiness. The observer was frightened by the sound of artillery fire from the eastern edge of the sky. As he looked up into the sky, a fireball like a haystack fell on him. The place where the fireball passed was like a waterfall with wide open sky gates. Let's look at this one. August 1609, the first year of King Gwanhagun, the 15th king of the Joseon dynasty. The local officer of the East Coast area, Lee Hyun-wook, reported a strange phenomenon that appeared in the Gangwon province, East Coast area of Korea. The information is as follows. Curiously, the report contained the details of the phenomenon witnessed in same day in many different places. So this morning, suddenly the thunderous sounding objects went past in the cloudless sky. All the people went out and looked up. Smoke-like shapes appeared in two places. They looked like a corona sphere of our sun and sounded like it was a giant drum. Wonju-mok, East Coastal area of Korea. This morning in broad daylight, something red looks like a long cotton cloth went past and then followed by the great thunder which ceased after a moment. Let's see. Chuncheon-bu, East Coastal area of Korea. This morning the weather is clear and only a small cloud between the southeastern sky came out for a while. There was the light of fire in the sky. The shape seemed like a big jar, flew to the north. It was very big and fast like an arrow. Long after, that thing looked like a fire was extinguished gradually, and the white and blue smoke came up as it expanded. The smoke did not scatter for a long time. After a while, sounds like thunder and drum made the heavens vibrate, and it stopped. And here's something interesting, but from another period. It happened on July 22nd in the year 1430. Something like a bell flew from the north. King Taejong gathered astronomers and asked, what was that? The astronomers were obviously confused and couldn't tell the king, and for that they were brutally punished. Look, for those who are interested in the further research, the veritable records were written in classical Chinese, making them inaccessible to the average reader. In 1968, the King Sejong Memorial Society began translating the Silok into Korean, and that project was taken over by the Korean Classics Research Institute in 1972 and completed in 1993. The Korean language version was published in 413 volumes, providing the Korean public with an opportunity to read the text directly. To enhance accessibility, the contents were digitalized and provided to the public in the form of CD-ROMs by the Seoul system, later renamed as Saltworks in 2003. At the same time, the Academy of Social Sciences in North Korea translated the Mount Jeoksang archive version into Korean between 1975 and 1991, resulting in 400 volumes of Hangul text. Meanwhile, the Mount Odae repository archives were taken to Japan during the colonial period from 1910 to 1945 and mostly destroyed during the Great Kanto earthquake in 1923. But 27 of the 74 surviving books are now back in Korea and are housed in the Kyujangak collection. The Dokyo National University Library holds the other 47 books. Discussions are now underway on their repatriation to Korea and on designating the place in Korea for their preservation. So I'm sure we can find out more. It just needs attention from specialized and focused research of Korean UFO phenomenon history. I want to add that Korea is a great place to explore paranormal phenomena. By the way, about 34 years ago, I published a Russian language article in the Los Angeles Russian Emigre newspaper, and it was about American GIs who had encountered UFOs during the Korean War. And it was later republished in several Russian and Ukrainian newspapers in the USSR and then, post-USSR countries. But throughout Korean history, there have been fascinating phenomena and discoveries. Please see my videos about for example, it's in the video about the Mongol Empire, but it's about the unusual advanced vehicle created in Korea for Subudai Bagatur, who was the Mongol warlord and commander under Genghis Khan. Also, I spent decades interacting with Korean people and have developed great respect for them, their culture, traditions, and customs. And at one time, I could speak some Korean due to the nature of work I was doing and the area I was doing it in. But I really hope I can learn more of it someday. And I would definitely love to see my books translated and published in South Korea. So this is what I wanted to let you know today, and I hope to bring more about Korean paranormal phenomena in my future videos. And I ask that if you like my research, to please kindly support me. You can see how to do it in the links just in the description to this video. And again, thank you for your attention to my work. Thank you for those who helped me. And if you don't mind, please tell others about my channel and like my videos, please, and subscribe. Thank you so much.